Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about ideas. As a leader, it's very important that we generate ideas on a regular basis. Ideas generation. Because if you don't, then as a leader, you're not coming up with innovative, unique ideas about how to move your business, your team, your company forward to the next level. Now, some leaders are challenged by this. Others do it as a very natural process. But it is critically important to know how to and to continue to generate ideas. That is leadership. That is inspiring people to move to the next level. Now, if you're good at generating ideas, I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts around it. Please feel free to comment. And in this video, if you can do us the pleasure of liking, sharing and subscribing to this channel, that would be absolutely amazing. A brand that I'm sure you've heard of, Adidas, their tagline is, "Impossible is nothing." Because you see, when you say to me, "I can't generate ideas," well, you can, we all can. We are creative beings. That is the way we are made. The only thing is that the majority of people don't use that creativity at all, let alone on a regular basis. But we can all achieve what may seem impossible. But what is required? And what is the creation of ideas? Well, the first thing is, an idea is an image, a concept, a thought that comes up in your mind. First of all, it's created and developed in your mind, in your mind's eye. You're the only one that can see it. You maybe can't see it in all its form, because you have to create it and develop it as you go through. But it's first manifested as a thought or an image in your mind. It points your compass in a certain direction. And once it's been created in the mind, and you maybe have it at a conscious level, you then put it into your subconscious. So imagine you're sleeping, your subconscious is working away. When you're awake, you're conscious. So you see light, you see sound, you hear sound, and so on. You are consciously using your senses. However, when you sleep or when you're meditating, dreaming, whatever, that's when the subconscious is working away. And the key is to take that idea and to plant it in the subconscious. So it becomes basically, in a simple context, you continue to think about it all the time. It's almost like you can't get rid of it. It's like a splinter in your mind. It's there. And that's when it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger over time. So creating that idea is the fundamental start. And bearing in mind that each idea that you create is to help improve your business going forward, your company, your team. I don't know about you, but I enjoy creating ideas. And over the decades, I've had books, notebooks, little things that I just think about a new idea, a new thought, a new concept, whether it's in my personal life or in my professional life. Those ideas may not germinate right away, but there's something for the future. And you capture each of these as you go along. So if you're not very comfortable with creating ideas, let's just start off with something very simple, because like I said, everybody is a creative being. So the first thing is to start small. Okay? You're not going to create a rocket ship overnight. If that's what you want to do and you want to be the next Elon Musk or Sir Richard Branson or whatever, you can go big. But if you want to start the process initially, ask yourself the question, what is it that I can do to improve my team, my company, my business? Because by asking the question, you're then asking your mind to give you the answer. It may sound strange, but the mind responds to what you feed it with. So start small, ask for something new, a new idea, a new thought, maybe how to develop your business to the next level or the next stage, or your company, whatever it is. Give yourself some space and think about something small to start off with. Maybe once you've done that, you then say to yourself, and as a leader, by the way, you should be doing this anyway, look out 24 to 36 months. What do I want to have, to achieve, to find, to discover, to move the needle from where I am today to where I want to go tomorrow with my team? What does that look like? 24 to 36 months. It's not that far out. but it's a reasonably extensive period for you to think about. And then of course write it down, whether it's a small one or the 24 to 36 months, write it down, because when you write it down, you're then taking that conscious awareness, you're committing it to paper, the thought you look at on a regular basis, and then it starts to manifest and those ideas start to come to you. Now, another way of looking at this is to talk about thinking, the thinking process. Now, I don't know about you, but I do a lot of thinking, because I think thinking is fundamentally important for us to be able to create the future that we want to see, to create the plans, the projects, the ideas that we want. Now, you may have heard this expression. It was taught to me by my mentor, Bob Proctor, many, many years ago, and he still uses it, but I think the original author was George Bernard Shaw. And George Bernard Shaw basically said, 2% of people think, 3% think they think, and 95% of people would rather die than think. That's a powerful concept. I have to ask myself, and you should ask yourself as a leader, are you in the 5%, let's say, the 2% who think, the 3% who think they think? Because you definitely don't want to be in the 95% of people who would rather die than think. The point is, thinking is an active, conscious process. It takes a lot of energy, both emotional, physical, and mental, but to think things through, it helps. George Bernard Shaw was a prolific playwright. He did many other things in his life as well. He was an activist, but he was a playwright. And he wrote lots of things. And one thing that he said, which really stuck with me, is that he said that few people think more than 2 or 3 times a year. But I, that's him, George Bernard Shaw, think at least 2 or 3 times per week. Again, maybe you're in the 2 or 3 per year because it's a tough process. But when you condition your mind and your ability to think 2 or 3 times a week in a very conscious manner, it makes a huge difference. So I'd encourage you to be part of that 5% of people on this planet who want to think hard about how to embrace and bring forward those ideas to change your business, your activity, and indeed those around you. So you may say, well, how do you do it? And I just want to give you very quickly my own 3 top tips, as it were. The first is to meditate. Now, it could be meditation. Some people do yoga. Some people just sit still. Some people pray. Whatever your fashion, the point is you've got to find a space and a place where you are on your own and you're thinking through this particular thought and idea. So you meditate. You have to demonstrate gratitude, because when you demonstrate gratitude, which is simply saying thank you for, or I'm grateful for, whatever it happens to be in your life, be grateful. Because when you're grateful, that opens up the channel of creativity. Remember I said we are all creative beings. It's just that some of us have shut off that particular connection point for the majority of our life. So be grateful for who you are, what you have. And there are many ways of doing that. We don't have time to go through it. And then acknowledge. Acknowledge that the universe, God, the divine, whatever you want to call it, will give you those ideas, those thoughts that will help you. So meditate, express gratitude, and embrace acknowledgement of who you are and what you do. And those ideas will continue to manifest and become more and more prolific in the way in which you lead. So become a lead generator. Become an idea generator. Become a direction for your team where you say, I've got this idea. It may sound crazy, but it'll be embraced. In closing, a quick story. I was managing director of Europe of a big global company. And when I went to the States, my boss, the CEO Global, presented me to the board. And he said to the board, hi, this is Chris Igwe. He's one of those who has some of the most outrageous, crazy, interesting, fascinating ideas and I'm sure he'd love to share those with you. Now, I was a bit shocked because I'd never met the board. To describe me as someone who comes up with crazy, unusual, outrageous ideas could be a little bit off-putting, but I embraced it and I said, well, I do. We have come up with some interesting ideas, and of course over time some of those crazy ideas I came up with he actually validated for the European business, which set it up for its future growth. So your ideas don't have to be at first hand something everybody understands. Very often they don't. You know what they are. You're continuing to create and develop them into something that has some form that you can communicate to your team. But initially, they're just ideas that need to be then forged into something that makes sense. And that's part of the process as well. So keep coming up with those crazy ideas, crazy thoughts, crazy plans for the future. The crazier the better, and then they will come together in something that makes sense. But remember, it's your journey, not anybody else's. You don't have to justify your idea to somebody else, but just to you, making sure that it's safe and in the interest of those that you serve as a leader. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please feel free to comment, share, like, and of course subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you